Okay, I want to welcome you, members of the press, for this short press briefing that some weeks back, the 4 commissioners of Parliament received a second service award of 400 million shillings each. The 4 commissioners, as we know them, the Honorable Solomon Silwany, the Honorable Esther Afoyochan, the Honorable Prossy Akampulira Mbabazi, and the Honorable Mathias Mpuuga. This money was apparently intended to see them through the campaigns. And to avoid a paper trail, this money was received through the Parliamentary SACCO. Now, these people, through their agents, have been recently, and specifically last week, been spreading propaganda that I also received a service award. Some of you probably saw those things. Now, this is completely false. And it is meant to be a cover-up for this second service award that the commissioners gave themselves. Look, even if they sent any such money to my account, I will direct my bank with immediacy to return that money to the sender. Why? Because such under-the-table money is illegal, it is irregular. This is a point that I've made severally. As we have said time and again, if any of these commissioners want to be awarded, and I've had some of them say former leaders have been awarded, former vice presidents, prime ministers, and so on, let them bring an amendment to the law. We have a law called Emoluments and Benefits of the President, Vice President, and Prime Minister. When those people leave office, there are benefits which they get. So if any of these commissioners want to also receive some kind of benefit, why don't they bring an amendment to that law so that we debate it publicly, as opposed to doing things surreptitiously and under the table? You see also, the former leaders that they keep referring to did not sit among themselves and decide to give themselves money, as these commissioners keep doing. That's one difference. This is a law that was passed in 2010 by the then Parliament, the Emoluments and Benefits of the President, Vice President, and Prime Minister. But also, the awards received by these former leaders were received after they left office, not when they were still serving, like these commissioners keep doing. And you see, that's why even media houses are being hounded out of Parliament today, because of the many ills that keep happening here. When we talked about the First Service Award and the corruption here at Parliament, I know for a fact some media houses were threatened, some staff of Parliament were threatened because they were thought to be the ones giving this information to us. And this continues to happen. My point has always been, if you are doing the right thing, then you'll have no reason to hound the media and even some staff of Parliament. Just do the right thing, and you'll not have any problem with the media, as we are seeing. NTV, Daily Monitor is the latest victim. We don't know which media house might be next. Why? Because the media keeps exposing the ills that are happening among leaders. Just do the right thing. And you'll not have a problem with the media, you'll not have a problem with some of your staff, because I know for a fact that some staff have been threatened severally for dismissal, and some even worse, have been threatened to be harmed, because they are thought to be the ones who keep availing this information to us. Obviously, we get it from reliable sources, and that's why it is credible. But we condemn, again, this behavior. Previously, I wrote to the IGG, then the Honorable Betty Kamya, after the First Service Award and the corruption that was happening here at Parliament, And she promised that she will come and investigate. She never did. So I'm not going to write to the IGG again, the current one, because I know for a fact they will not investigate these matters. They will not pick interest. But it's important that we are accountable to the people of Uganda. My duty here is to keep the government in check. How do I do it? When there is an ill happening, I'll expose it so that the public knows. It's important. Ultimately, we are accountable to the people of Uganda. So if I write to the IGG and there is no response, I will inform the people of Uganda, because the buck stops with them. Thank you.
The last time when you won, you were not invited in those commission meetings. Yes, you are getting that information, but even you as an individual who sits in the commission, much as you are...
Shamim, yes, the commission, firstly, up until now, it's coming to 2 years since I joined the commission as leader of the opposition. I've not sat in a single meeting of the commission, not one. When I continuously talked about this, there was a time they sent me an invitation when they knew I was out of town on official duty. So the invitation came in the middle of the night, saying, come tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for a commission meeting. They knew I was out of town, and there was no way I was going to come hurriedly for that commission meeting. So that's the time they have sent me an invitation, because I'm sure they might share around a certain event and say, but we invited the LOP here. Yeah, that 1 or 2 times, they did it deliberately that way. You don't send somebody an invitation in the night and say, come tomorrow morning. Not for a commission meeting, surely. Even other meetings are better organized. How about a commission meeting? You're supposed to inform members prior. Except when there's an emergency, and there's never such a thing here, like an emergency, that some disaster has happened, so we need to have a meeting now in the next 30 minutes. No, these things are properly programmed. You're supposed to inform members at the bare minimum 7 days to the meeting. But that does not happen. Are there benefits? Yes, by virtue of being leader of the opposition, there are benefits that accrue to that. I've got security, I've got an official car, there's, yes, those benefits. And that's been my quarrel with colleagues, yeah? By virtue of the office that you occupy, you get extra benefits in comparison to the other members of parliament. Why don't you settle with that? Why is it not adequate for you that now you have to still sit quietly and give yourselves more money that is outside of your benefits of the office? That's my challenge. Because, yes, as people who occupy these offices, yes, there are those extra benefits. Just like ministers, for example, and so on and so forth. Yes, there are those extra benefits. And my issue has been, why don't they suffice? That in addition to these extra benefits that I get, which other MPs don't get, you still sit and you give yourselves extra money, which you're calling a service award, not once, but twice now. It is wrong. What makes my claim factual? You see, I never call the media here, especially over such a serious matter, and I'm not sure about what I am saying. Never. By the time I out something, I say something, it's because I've taken time to be sure of this. So I didn't get this information this morning or even yesterday. A while back, but I took time to be sure this is factual before I can talk about it. And that's why all the issues that I've said, do you remember when, with the first service award, they first denied, as you all saw. But eventually they said, okay, we received the money, but we received it through the proper channels. Do you remember when we told the nation about the 100 million shilling saga? Members of parliament said, Lop Ssenyonyi, you keep saying these things to make parliament look bad. We are even taking you to court personally. Some members said they were going to take me to court personally. I said, okay, I'm waiting. But eventually, even the one who gave them the money came out and conceded as such. So even about the second service award, they probably will first come out and deny. Wait. But yes, the truth always comes out. And this is factual. Okubiddamu bino mu Luganda. Situ lero tulina kibuuzo. Esuuti wayambadde yaki kisitu. Oba tulina kibuuzo kisoke kanziremu. Kale kibuuzo. Traders downtown. Yesterday at our party headquarters, we spoke about this issue. I spoke about this issue. And we have said we are going to support these traders to go to court. Some of them have already gone. We are mobilizing others to support them in this process. We are not saying that we know there are challenges with our processes in court, might take forever and so on and so forth. But we are saying at least let it be on record. I saw yesterday officials in KCCA, including the ED, promising to compensate these traders. I'm not a prophet, but that compensation is not going to come at all. Yeah, because what example do they give us of people they have compensated? In March of this year, even before Ham started the illegal construction he's doing, there were floods in the city. In my constituency, I lost 3 people. Over 6 people died in the entire city. In my constituency, Mulimira zone, 3 people to those floods. The Honorable Minsa Kabanda, KCCA, and so on, they and other leaders, they promised that there will be compensation. It has never come. In August of last year, the Chitezi landfill disaster happened. 35 people died, where bodies were retrieved. 28 people are still missing to date. KCCA still at the time promised that they were going to compensate these families, those that are bereaved, those that lost loved ones. Of course, others lost their houses, property, and so on. Until tomorrow, that compensation has not happened. So I would like to implore the traders, please don't be hoodwinked. I saw them calming you down in that meeting that we are going to compensate you. It's not going to happen because they have never done it. They are not willing to do it at all. It's not their priority. They have failed to fix roads. And you think they're going to compensate you, traders? They will not. Chitezi that happened right under their watch. They promised to compensate. They have not. They will not compensate the traders. I'm not a prophet, but I'm sure it's not going to happen. So traders, do not take things lightly that now they have promised us they're going to compensate us. Let's calm down. No. And that's why it's good. Those that are going to court, we are supporting them. So that at least there is a court record. It's important to go through that. Yeah. But keep speaking out, traders. Speak out. Some of us believe in peacefully expressing yourselves, peacefully even protesting, to show your discomfort. Teachers have been protesting peacefully. They didn't beat anyone. But they said, we are laying down our tools. And the pressure was felt until, of course, the leaders were called and they told them, now, this thing is getting out of hand. Please tell people to go back. Medical workers have in the past protested peacefully. So even traders, please do take some action. Don't be comfortable because they have promised you that they are going to compensate you. Like they compensated who? Kisitu asks what he thinks is a brilliant question. He has asked, why do you give us information after it has happened? Why not give us what's in the pipeline? I thought he was around when I was saying they don't invite me to the meetings where they take these decisions. So I can only find out after the meetings have happened. So I'm not some kind of foreteller that now I can sit here and I foretell that in 2 months down the road there will be a commission meeting which will decide this and so on. I don't have those spiritual powers, Mr. Chisitu. But at least what will happen, yes, when I get to know, I do communicate. I wish, and that's why I keep, wondering why and pushing to sit in those meetings. Because then there I would probably in that meeting say, no, this is wrong. Let's not pass this. This is problematic. But that's the very reason they don't invite me to the meetings, because they know I'll say no to this on record. Namayo, this is something that I have said, that one, the information that I've received is from very reliable sources, just like it was with the First Service Award, which they denied. And I said it is true. Eventually, they considered and said, okay, we took the money, but it was through the proper channels. Which channels, they couldn't explain themselves. When I talked about the 100 million shillings, again, there were questions. Ssenyonyi, where do you get that from? We shall take you to court and so on. But it became very clear, including from the person, Mr. Museveni, who gave them the money. So even with this one, give it time. Why not write to the new IGG? You see, the IGG is not just an individual, of course. One, there are two deputies. Those two deputies are still in office. They were deputies to the Honorable Betty Kamya. They are still in office. It's an entire infrastructure. And those are the challenges that we have had with the institution. It's not just the individual. And I said, when the new appointee, who is a judge of the High Court, I said, this lady is competent. She knows the law. But she's not going to do much in the office of the IG. Yeah, because it's not about how much law you know and so on and so forth, yeah? The institution is not allowed to operate. It's not given the tools to fight corruption. And that's why Mr. Museveni told the IGG then, watcha, don't go after these corrupt people. At least they are putting the money here. Yeah, when I was still in the media, we interviewed the then IGG, Justice Irene Mulyagonja, and we asked her, why is it that you only go after small fish? And her response was, on record, she said, whenever I go after the big fish, I find them hiding behind the president. This was at the level of a judge, in fact, Court of Appeal. She knows the law and so on, but she was saying, I'm being frustrated. Whenever I go after the thieves, they are being protected. So it doesn't matter who you put in that office, yeah? They will not deal with the corruption issue because it is systemic, it is institutionalized, unfortunately. Yes, Monica Nabukenya Chibalama, it is very unfortunate. We put out this news yesterday evening that the wife of Mr. John Bosco Chibalama, Mrs. Monica Nabukenya Chibalama, was found dead in her bathroom yesterday. This lady has been everywhere, speaking everywhere, pushing and saying, I want information regarding my husband. Her husband, John Bosco Chibalama, was abducted on 3rd June 2019. It's over 6 years since that happened. The Prime Minister, Robin Anabanja, came out and told the nation that Chibalama was arrested. And Mrs. Chibalama, this one who has died, has been asking Prime Minister, where is my husband? You said he was arrested by the state. You tell us the prison, the facility where he's being kept, so that we come as his family and see him, so that we get lawyers to follow up the matter. And Robin Anabanja has been mute. So she's been very vocal in trying to push to establish the whereabouts of her husband. And that information, she has unfortunately died without knowing, left little children who are growing, still trying to establish the whereabouts of their father, and now their mother has also died under mysterious circumstances. We are waiting to see what the autopsy report and so on will say, but it's very unfortunate that she has passed on. We hope that the Right Honorable Robin Anabanja will now give answers to the children, because the wife who has been demanding has passed on. But the children and the nation, because it's not just a family matter. Any individual, you see, the state is responsible for all of us. And that's why you cannot give birth to a child and do whatever you want with that child, that you can beat them up, that you can kill them and say, but I'm the one who gave birth to this child. No. The state is responsible for them. And so the country, Uganda, is still waiting from Robin Anabanja. Where is Chibalama? You said that he was arrested by the state. I saw recently Felix Kulaje, the spokesperson of the UPDF, he came out like a typical propagandist and he said, Chibalama fled the country, he's hiding in some country. And when he was asked which country, he said, I will not tell you. I said, now, look at this man. So anyhow, we still demand 4 answers. The family still demands 4 answers. It's unfortunate that she has passed on mysteriously before getting answers as to what happened to her husband. And others, by the way, not just John Bosco Chibalama, there are others. Kanata Muhammad, John Damulira, and several others who are still missing to date. Sam Mugumya was also disappeared a couple of weeks back. And the state is mute. There are 2 Kenyans who came to express solidarity with us to attend one of our rallies in Bujiri, in eastern Uganda, Busoga. What rally, and then we saw them, of course, we recognize the faces. One called Bob Njagi, and another called Oyo Nicholas. When they left the rally, they were kidnapped. And the government of Uganda has not accounted for these Kenyans. And you cannot even say that they were here illegally. But how? This is the East African community. You can move from Kenya to Uganda and vice versa using your national identity card. Because the borders were opened, we are one big East African region. Okay, even if you say they committed an offense, why haven't you produced them in court to charge them with whichever offense? But you have disappeared them up until now. So we demand for answers. The people of Uganda, the people of East Africa want to know what has happened to all these different people. Ensonga z'abasuubuzi.
I've been given 650 million service award. I saw it running around. I said it was a stupid propaganda. Nobody has paid Honorable Ssenyonyi 650 million service award. Similarly, Honorable Ssenyonyi is becoming a public liar to keep saying Parliament is paying out service awards. I think the only thing we need to accept as media, these are my bosses. They can fire me anytime, including Honorable Ssenyonyi is my boss. But I think he loves limelight so much than institutional building. There is a journalism, there is a leadership. So if you are a leader in the Parliament, your work is to build the Parliament, the institution. Parliament is non-partisan as the institution, but the political parties exist here. So Parliament picks from all political parties for management. That's why Lope is a commissioner. But now, if his work is to, like reading news,
blackmail,
then it becomes a problem. And I would request that these bosses of mine start respecting themselves so that we can build the institution called the Parliament. And if Honorable Ssenyonyi wants to be transparent, like the way he says, let him start by giving you the accountability of the 2.8 billion we allocate to his office, so that we know it's transparent. He tells you, Parliament gave me this money, I've spent it like this. Then we know that it's after transparency. But it's wrong. That's not how public affairs are run. We have channels of accountability, including the money given to him. He will say, me I don't even touch it, me I don't even do it. Does he touch money? He does not run a department in the Parliament. He's a commissioner. Do you run a department?
no, how can it?
So that is the work of the clerk to Parliament. And the clerk to Parliament, he is not a novice in politics. He's not a novice in leadership. He began his career in civil service in foreign affairs. He understands the law. He can't be paying public money the way Honorable Ssenyonyi says. And I know this is a political season. Face the voters calmly and come back to the House. That's my message to all the MPs. Go give accountability to your voters, not by blackmailing the institution of Parliament. And I'm seeing the desire to come here is too much. Why are they coming here? I thought to offer leadership. So, in summary, what my boss says is true. We have not paid any money out. He's a clerk. If he believes he has been paid out, as a commissioner himself, ask him to give you the pay slip. Because Parliament pays through IFMI system. Am I right?
Yeah.
There is no way the clerk to Parliament will pay any staff, any MP, be it a commissioner, without going through the IFMI system. So ask Honorable Ssenyonyi to give you a pay slip, including his, since he loves what? Transparency. We are really tired of blackmailing an institution of government, an institution of the people. Only money, money, money. Money, money, money. Even lies. He has not been paid. The 650, it is a lie. Whoever is blackmailing Honorable Ssenyonyi is an amateur. There is no way Honorable Ssenyonyi can be paid. The money. He is also wrong to imagine that Parliament has paid others.
To counter blackmail.
This thing of playing to the public all the time is a mark of people who are not yet ready to lead.
But has any MP received any money through SACCO?
SACCO is the MP's what? It is an MPC SACCO.
To borrow money.
They contribute, they borrow, they do what? What is a SACCO?
How do you ask that?
Even me, I go to SACCO because I'm a member.
They say that you have passed the money through SACCO. Is it true?
How do you pass money through SACCO? You pay SACCO as who?
You have passed their money through SACCO.
SACCO is not a supplier of government. Are we together? Government pays its registered suppliers. SACCO is not a supplier of government. In this case, the suppliers mean for Parliament, the staff, the members, and the pre-qualified service providers. So how do you pass money to SACCO? But SACCO, even if you go now, I can go with you, you'll find MPs in SACCO. Do you stop them? It is their savings. So Honorable Ssenyonyi, with all due respect, there is media work, which is limelight, which we all know, headlines. Then there is leadership, which is looking at institutions and people on how to improve them, not to bring limelight to ourselves all the time. It's unfortunate.
So, Director, Honorable Ssenyonyi, is he like a result?
I am the one who told you the service award was legitimately passed. Even in the budget in the House, I'm the one who said it. It was paid. But this one is absolute imagination and political propaganda. But also tell you, Lord, when you become a leader, you need to work with the teams. The commission, these are his team members. Whether they are NRM, whether you're noob, you come together as a team. And that is why they want to join iPod. Is iPod noob? iPod is a team of political parties. You just tell him it is important to also understand how to play in a team. In a team, don't go for showbiz.
So what will happen if this has been investigated and turns out to be legit?
Investigate and bring here. You are now speculating.
So
I asked you,
What if?
I asked you, can he give you the pay slip? Because Parliament pays through integrated finance management system, all public funds. Even my salary cannot come to me in cash. Even my allowance cannot come to me in cash. It has to go to my bank account. If he's so sure, as my boss, I may not know. Please tell him, Obore says he doesn't know, but you can give us a pay slip of Honorable Silwany. Then I will say, Honorable Silwany, so you got it. But now, I cannot. I speak for the institution. I speak for the clerk to Parliament, who is supposed to make these payments. My boss has not paid any commissioner any money, apart from their salaries. Honorable Ssenyonyi receives a salary, he receives allowances, he receives honoraria. As what? A leader of opposition. And a member of the commission. He receives what? Honoraria. What Honorable Ssenyonyi Silwany receives? Honorable Ssenyonyi what? Receives. That is salary, allowances, this is fuel or what, and honoraria for being commissioners of Parliament.
So when should commissioners receive another, which year should
Another
they receive another service award?
It seems I am speaking to a person who's pretending to sleep and I'm trying to wake him up. I told you a service award was a one-off.
Or is using a sample
Pain. You see? What do you mean by a one-off? A one-off is one, and that is it. If another commission so decides, they'll have to go through what? A process.
So, Mr. Commissioner, when was the last
I'm
time?
not a commissioner.
Mr.
Director.
Mr. Director, when was the last time the commission sat and was Ssenyonyi?
The commissioner sat about 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago.
Was Ssenyonyi invited?
Every commissioner is invited. Even if he was not invited, how come he knows that payment has been made but doesn't know the commission has sat? Do you want to believe that? That a person who knows who has been paid does not know when the commission sits. If you know a commission has sat, you come and what? It is simple.